this is kind of, I don't know, this leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. So the Shenmue 3 developers held their Kickstarter, and there were Kickstarter rewards like there always are, for various tiers. They ended up doing what is kind of often known as a slacker backer thing afterwards, where you could continue to pledge money, towards the game. And they wanted to know
another avenue, like in this case, PayPal.
And they wanted to know if people felt like it was okay for these people who backed late to get these same rewards as the people who backed up front. Now, I'm just going to come out and say before we go any further that my answer to that is probably no. I feel like if you take the risk and you back up front, you deserve what you get. And if you want to put, if you back later, you're doing so knowing that you may not get anything, okay? And that's okay. I don't have any issue with that. If they want to give rewards to those people, that's fine too.
Sure.
Okay? My beef here is that they held a poll. And the poll was, should the Kickstarter exclusive awards be made available to the PayPal Slacker backer page? And the majority was yes. We're fine with that. The majority was the people were fine, followed by people who did not care one way or another, followed by the minority, which was no.
Well, okay. Well, I'm looking at the poll now. You got a little. It's 40. About 42% said either way is fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Then
I'm looking at backwards.
Then yes is a little over 30%, and then no is about 28%.
So honestly, I feel like in this poll you have to disregard the either way is fine, because either way is fine, so it doesn't matter. Meaning that the majority then is yes. But here's the thing. They're not going to make those awards available to the PayPal backers. Like I said earlier, that would have been fine to me if they had not issued the poll. Because what this is a company not listening to their fans. Now, their reasoning is fine. But that should have been the reasoning why they never brought this poll up in the first place.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do that, then you listen to the fucking poll.
Well, you can make an argument they did, because there was more yes and no's. They looked at it as the majority of people weren't affirmative. That's how they took it. That's the way they combined the no's with the either way is fine against the yes. Which you can do the opposite, like you can combine the yes with the either way is fine. They chose not to do that. They chose to say who really cares, and who really cares is only to them about 30%, and to them 70% it's either no or I don't care about them. That's basically how they looked at it, which is one way to look at it, which is shitty. But again, yes. Why put out the poll in the first place?
Yes.
Was there an internal debate within them, the team saying, well, maybe we should give these out too versus not, and then people were like, no, I don't want to, so we'll ask the fans. I wouldn't ask the fans at all.
Right, exactly.
Because then you're opening this Pandora's box.
That's why Kickstarter exists. You reward the people who are backing you for their faith in the project. So, like I said, I have no problem with them not giving the awards to the PayPal backers. My problem is that they decided to issue I'm repeating myself. There's not much more for me to say here. I don't like the fact that they did this and then disregarded it anyways, because I really do believe the either way thing, they really don't care. So those people aren't going to be upset, so you have to eliminate that.
I think it's a really strange, just because the people that on the Kickstarter probably want to get something extra for being early. At least I would. Otherwise, then why have the Kickstarter, like you said? And then the people who came afterwards shouldn't expect anything because they didn't do it during the Kickstarter.
Right.
So maybe I'm thinking, I don't have a list of all the extras in front of me. I'm thinking they're in a weird spot where maybe they produced more than they needed and have some extra left over, but not enough to give to all the PayPal backers. And maybe they're thinking, well, maybe we can go out and produce, I don't know, off the top of my head, 3,000 more of these trinkets, but that'll cost us money. We can't give it to some of the PayPal backers, so let's ask. I'm thinking it's something like that. They're in this weird sort of middle ground of what they should do.
Or they had stuff left over, but maybe one of the problems that they were facing was, we've already got all these PayPal backers, now we have to institute tiers. Now, obviously, they could just use the Kickstarter tiers, but otherwise they would have to arbitrarily decide where these tiers are.
Yeah, I've never seen something like this before. It's either, to me, it's all or nothing, and why put it out there? Why ask the people? I mean, the Kickstarter people, again, most don't care. Most are like, well, whatever. I'm getting my trinket. What that? It's that sort of a weird question to ask the consumer about what someone else gets after you.
And that's why the whole I don't care thing. You summed it up in a way that I couldn't. They're getting it, so they don't care. There's not a lot of people who are like, no, this is my toy. I can't share with you. As long as they got it, I don't think they give a fuck.